Thank you so much, Yudi, for beautifully summarizing everything that has been going on in the platform in this year so far. It was a very interesting presentation. And also, it was very interesting to hear about some creator stories about alternate monetization and how they leverage stuff like Super Chat. I'm pretty sure that a lot of creators on the call would also be quite interested to know that how can they use these features like memberships, super chats, and merch well on their platform or on their channels. And for that, I would like to bring in Krishna from my team, who will be facilitating a panel discussion on just this topic. Hope you're excited. I am for sure. And Krishna, handing over to you.
And I hope you've been enjoying the day as it's been going. So before I introduce the panelists for this session, मुझे आपको एक analogy में बताना है कि ये session important क्यों है. जो YouTube channel आप बना रहे हो, think of it as you're building a house. And जब भी आप एक house बनाते हो, the most important thing you need to think about is the foundation. अगर foundation ठीक नहीं है, तो घर ठीक नहीं बनेगा. And in that case, one of the pillars of this foundation is the monetization you make on YouTube. It enables you to create more content and fund more content. But we also on YouTube decided that maybe that's not enough. We wanted to give creators more options to build an even more solid foundation. And I think alternate monetization, which is what we're going to talk about now, is one of those pillars that you should establish very early in your channel while getting started. So, with no further delay, let me introduce our panelists for this session. We have Animesh Agarwal, whose channel is 8-Bit Thug. We have Saloni Srivastav, CA Rachna Fartye who you saw on UD's presentation, and Prema from the channel Let's Make Education Simple. Let's have them on. Hey folks, how are you all doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Awesome. So before we get kick-started into this session, I'm going to let you introduce yourself one by one. And what I want to know from you is the one YouTube video or creator whose content you watched recently that has made you feel happy or that has inspired you. So Rachna, why don't we kick off with you?
Well, during the lockdown, I've seen a bunch of videos, but really, I checked out the video of Saloni during the lockdown and how she made 1 crore rupees during the lockdown, and I just felt that making a video without giving party to fellow YouTubers doesn't make sense. So Saloni, a party is due on you. Yeah, I mean that's how you have to face the challenges, and that's how you take on the challenges and convert them into opportunities. So I think that was one video which really I liked a lot while checking out so much other content on YouTube.
Thank you.
Awesome. Animesh.
Hello everyone, I'm Animesh Agarwal. I go by the name 8-Bit Thug. I have a gaming channel and I also manage a lot of creators. So basically, to be honest, I don't get too much time to watch non-gaming content because I have to manage a lot of creators and keep advising them. But one of my most favorite from India is Bhuvan, and I love the episode that he came up because it's about what made me happy. I really had a good 6-7 minutes of laughter, and I definitely believe that I mean, like they have always been very inspiring. Bhuvan has been very inspiring to me, and I believe that this is the episode that I absolutely loved. His latest episode is a cracker.
Awesome. Saloni, why don't you go next?
I think for me, my favorite discovery in the lockdown period was Tanmay Bhatt's second channel, Honestly by Tanmay Bhatt. All of the conversations he had around money and the conversations he had around just generally fueling people's curiosity around what dreams are and how we perceive love, and a lot of different very interesting angles that he took by inviting some very knowledgeable people from different industries. I think his second channel is absolutely my favorite thing to watch these days.
Awesome. Prem, how about you?
Hey, myself Prem Anand from Let's Make Engineering Simple. I love to watch more science and technology videos. Recently, the video that I liked was Mark Rabo's video. He made a world record elephant toothpaste stuff. It was really exciting. That's the one I loved really.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, folks. So let's get into it. Now, like I said before, finding other ways of monetization, both within YouTube and even outside of it, becomes an important foundation for a channel to, kind of grow over time. And the four of you have had extensive experience with doing this. So Rachna, why don't we start with you? I know you have a really, cohesive channel memberships offering. How did you get started on it? How did it build out, and where is it at now for you?
So while starting with the channel memberships, we had a very definite plan for it as to how we are going to go about it. What would be the different levels of memberships? We did think through as well. Then we tried to jot down as to what sort of offerings can I give to my paid members. A very important point to note here is that promise only that much what you can actually deliver. Otherwise, what happens is that if you promise, then it backfires on you and you get pressurized to fulfill your commitments. So I just try to jot down as to how much I can really offer to my paid members. And so that is how we actually laid down the plan for memberships. We presented it. And what we did as an immediate follow-up video was FAQs on memberships. To my knowledge and to many other YouTubers' knowledge as well, I think this was the one of the first videos which was put on FAQs for memberships, because we got a lot of queries that if X is happening, then what is to be done? If Y is happening, what is to be done? So I jotted down all the queries which I got from my viewers, recorded a separate video, and I posted it up on my YouTube channel. So that was actually a very good positive point that I received from my subscribers as well. Uh, After that was also done, now the big challenge was how to increase the memberships during the lockdown, because that was the time when shooting videos was a very big task, doing everything from home with my child around, everything. All that was a big question mark. So what we did was we introduced a separate theme called as Chai Pe Charcha or something like that. Chai Pe Stock Market was what we called it. And every day I used to come live at 6 in the evening. And that was a members only chat which I introduced. So anyone was allowed to view, but if you were to chat with me, then it was a members only theme. So I think that got a lot of memberships, added a lot of memberships to my channel. So that's how I took benefit of lockdown and introduced a separate segment, which I continued throughout the lockdown.
So I think the two things jo mujhe striking lagi for your memberships journey, one was listen to your audience, see what they want and how they are responding to your memberships and iterate your offerings that way. And the second thing is build that sense of community. Agar aap community tab pe post karna chahte ho as members only, or you want to do a live stream with members only chat, I think that sense of community really fuels them. And Saloni, why don't you tell us? I know that you kind of took memberships in a different way by starting your own program, which Rachna referenced earlier, where you made that video about how you made 1 crore in these 3 months. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how that went?
Right. So I was always my channel was always about teaching people about how to grow a side hustle, how to start making money by taking up projects on the side. That was a very recurring theme that I had on my channel. And while people loved those kind of videos, I used to often get questions around how do I get started, how do I figure things out. So a lot of what I did was listen to the kind of questions that audience had for me, and I took that feedback, decided to create a curriculum around it on everything that they were regularly facing problems with. So I created a full curriculum and I packaged it as a course with a live coaching program associated with it, and I launched that to my community about 3 months back. I launched it with very minimal expectations, knowing that it was a completely new ground and nobody knew. I wasn't aware of how much of a demand something like this would have, but I still wanted to try it out because I think lockdown was when the routine was shaken up entirely, and I wanted to really try and see and try and figure out if something new could work. So I launched that, and the response was pretty great. We just yesterday we closed 2,000 signups for that. So we have about 2,000 students who are in the academy now. And the way we work is I have a complete structure where the students who want to come in enter the academy having absolutely no idea about what they want to do. They just have a basic idea that, oh, I want to do something beyond just my 9 to 5, where my job pays my bills, but I want to like sort of also build my empire on the side, the kind of things that I did when I started out on YouTube. And I sold that idea to people. So a lot of people joined thinking, okay, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do something. So in the program, they enter, they discover their hidden talents, they discover what they can do, and then they get all of the business knowledge and all of the technicalities, everything that they need to learn. These are things that I've learned having spent 3 years in the online internet industry, and I share all of those secrets with my students. And there's a recorded curriculum, and then there are live coaching sessions that I do with them every week. So I sit down with them, I answer all of their questions, I do all of that. So this allowed me to also not just diversify my revenue, but also create something so sustainable that I now see this becoming a major part of my my business in general, that it brings in regular money and it does not require me to spend a lot of time on it every single day. Once I've recorded the curriculum, once I've created the entire curriculum, my job is done. And now if 2 people buy it or 20,000 people buy it, the effort that goes from my end is limited. So it's kind of like a passive source of income and has made a big difference in the way I now envision my future, apart from just creating videos, which I absolutely love. But this then takes care of all of my monetary requirements, and just from a business perspective.
Awesome. Yeah, I think from what you've kind of read to us, the few takeaways that I see again here are think about expanding on your expertise. You said that this was already something you were covering on your channel, so it was just an expansion of that. And the second thing is, of course, making that attempt, going out and doing it, and not fearing it, not pressurizing yourself early, and just making that attempt. So thank you so much for anybody who's looking to expand their business, look at their channel as a business. I think Saloni had some great insights over there. Animesh, how about you? I know that as a gaming creator, super chat or live streaming एक बहुत बड़ा part है on how your channel develops and how you continue to grow. Tell us what you did right and आप क्या strategy सोचते हो when you're encouraging viewers to give super chats, or how you built that up for your channel.
See, I believe that when it comes to super chats and membership, especially for creators from the gaming genre, and live streams are more of right now in India, the trend is very much into gaming. It's been trending a lot. So one major thing that I've seen, that there's a big difference on how the approach is for young creators, new creators, and the more experienced one. So I'll give two different approaches for both of them. So for young ones, you need to, so I have this concept and I say that you need to treat it as a super chats. You need to treat as if you own a restaurant. Your channel is a restaurant. Now if you are a new channel, it's not that कि आपको super chats daily मिलेंगे, but जब कोई person comes and donates and gives you a super chat, and if the response is really good, which in case of a restaurant would be good food, then वो if not daily, but वो week में एक बार आएगा. Maybe a weekend he will hit up your channel and come again because you had a really good response. So I believe for young kids, it's very important that the way you appreciate, I believe this is something, so it's all about courtesy. How well do you appreciate the person taking money out of their purse and paying you to support what you are doing? So I believe that is a very important thing for young creators, which they miss out because so this is something that happened with me when I was at the very early stage of my YouTubing. I think until 100 and 150k subs. So whenever I used to get a super chat, I was like, okay, thank you for the super chat, and that's it. I made a transition where I decided to, okay, when someone gives a super chat, maybe spend another 15 seconds in addressing the person and maybe saying a huge shout out to you, and I'm absolutely thankful. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपने आया support किया. This lines actually helped in getting in, I would say, major investors on my channel. I treat people who come and give super chats as investors, because you don't know the quantum, how it can, like I have had people who started with 100 and went on setting the limits every day. That's 10k right now for the Indian YouTube. So I've had those experiences, as far as memberships are concerned for the younger channels, new channels, is that you need to understand that memberships are nothing else but subscriptions. Someone is paying you on a monthly basis. So there are two things that the person has in mind. So when you choose between an OTT platform, on while installing on a device and you take a subscription, what do you think? Exclusivity and the kind of content. So basically nowadays we have a lot of options, but why would you choose this and not that? Because you want the content that is being shown, also you are getting the exclusivity that this content is available just for this and I'm paying, and so I'm getting a chance to see. So this is another thing. You need to maintain some, like for young channels, you definitely need to start that practice of giving your members exclusive content. This really helps a lot in getting those memberships in. And I mean, like, you know, when your channel, as your channel grows, you can actually build a very good community around your members, which is, to be honest, YouTube, a parallel platform within YouTube. I mean, like your members only thing is something that is within YouTube, a very parallel thing. So this is something one of the creators that I manage, Mortal and me, we were discussing a couple of days back, where he said that my members only content is a separate panel with separate platform within YouTube. So this is something that young channels need to keep in mind. Now coming to the bigger ones, now this is where it gets tricky. So if you talk about big creators like Mortal or
Animesh,
Kerry
actually,
Minati or maybe
let me come back to you on that. Sorry.
Mhm.
Let me come back to you on that. I think initially, just for the newer channels who are here, the big takeaway is that starting that loop of appreciation very early, and using memberships early so that your audience knows and you build that appreciation and you build that relationship with them. So I think that is the way you kind of go ahead with it when you're starting channel memberships. But let's come to Prem, since we haven't heard from him. Prem, why don't you tell us how you have been able to build this business out of your YouTube channel, offering courses, which I believe are targeted to K-12 students?
Yep. So when I come into the alternative monetization, most of the creators, they think the advertisement revenue and memberships are the only option to go ahead with it. But my recommendation would be there are plenty of other options also available. So when I started my YouTube channel, I was the only one who creates the content. But now I have close to 100 plus employees in our company. It's all because we started producing product and services that would be that would be interesting for our audience. So we built a learning app for the K-12 students, and we do a lot of physical classes where students can come in and they can attend the classes. And during the lockdown period, we were not able to the physical classes, so we started doing online classes where we did recorded courses as well as the live classes. So it went really well. Comparing to the physical classes, we had a 2x number of students attended the event. So if you are running a channel and a certain numbers are following you, we would recommend you to go ahead and start developing some product or service that would be useful for your audience, so that that can generate another revenue as well. And we are offering membership in our channel as well. And our membership is almost generating 50% of our revenue. Almost 50% of revenue from YouTube channel is coming from our membership.
That's awesome. I think that's I think something creators should take away from here, is the fact that 50% of your revenue can start coming from memberships, which means you're less dependent on going ahead and like doing something different. I think one question to all of you, and this is something I'm sure everyone is eager to learn, is this alternate monetization. What is the one thing it's let you do that you think you wouldn't have been? Rachna, why don't you tell us what has memberships enabled you to do that maybe
Sorry,
you could before?
there was a small connection error. I could not hear you properly.
Sure. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Awesome. So the question to all of you all is, what is the one thing this alternate monetization has enabled you to do, which you feel you would not have been able to do had you all not diversified this way?
I think because of the monetization thing, one amazing thing happened that, I think every YouTuber who calls himself or herself as a YouTuber now was doing something else before doing YouTube. And that big decision to completely shift as a YouTuber is dependent on one thing: am I able to generate that enough amount of money from YouTube or not? So, for example, for me, I was teaching CA, I was teaching MBA, I was doing corporate trainings, I was doing things on behalf of SEBI. So, foregoing that entire income and shifting to be a complete YouTuber, trying to give full justice to this channel, uh, was a big question mark in front of me. And it would have been possible only if I would have been able to generate a good source of revenue from YouTube. And that was the time I tried to chalk down few things, jot down few things, that what could be the different sources. And that time I came to know that, okay, memberships can be really big if planned in a good way, if executed in a good way. So yeah, we drafted a plan, we stuck to it, we executed it, and finally I feel glad that it was only because of this monetization thing that I was able to take a good decision of leaving all other things aside and focusing only on one thing, which is YouTube. So had there been no monetization, it would have been like, a jack of all trades kind of a thing, wherein it would have been difficult to balance on all the stones, but not really getting through a very big one.
Awesome. So I think that sense of freedom is something you want to put. What about you, Saloni? What did it offer you?
For me, the biggest benefit of having alternate streams of revenue has been the fact that I was actually able to grow a team. Because when I started out, I was doing everything myself, and while it's fun in the beginning because you're really excited about every little thing that happens, over time it just got a little too much for me to manage every little aspect, because I have a line of products, I have my course, I have other one-on-one mentorships that I do, as well as my YouTube channel. So it got a little too much for me, but because of the alternate revenue streams that I was able to generate because of YouTube, I now have a team of about 5 people who work with me. I'm easily able to delegate responsibilities to them, and I keep most of the strategic decision making to myself, which allows me to also think of new ideas of growing the business and making it more robust over time.
Awesome. And then we'll go to Prem. I think you said you have 100 people now working, but what is the one thing that alternate monetization has enabled you to do?
So obviously, obviously we increase the team number of team members so that they can think freely and come up with new ideas. So whenever we create a new content, we always think we need to give something better than our previous content. So obviously you need funds to produce better content and to offer the better quality content. So obviously it helped me to expand the team size and give very quality content to my audience.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I think इन सब के आंसर्स सुन के जो एक समरी मैं दे सकता हूँ is it gives you that freedom to pursue what you enjoy doing, to build out a team and एक business बना सकते हो. You're not just a channel that people to watch. You're a business जो उनकी lives पे multiple points पे intersect होते हैं. So I think keeping those 3 things in mind is why you should focus on being early to diversify your revenue streams. Now, Saloni, I want to hear from you. Since you found a lot of success in this, why do you think that YouTubers can make good secondary businesses from their channel? What motivates viewers कि वो एक YouTuber को trust करे and उनके business को trust करे?
Right. I think as YouTubers, sometimes we don't realize the amazing position that we are in. We are at the intersection of audience as well as brands. So by that, what I mean is we as YouTubers, our audience develops a relationship with us to the extent that they're very open to share their feedback, and if they try new products, if they try something out, they're the first ones to come and tell us that, hey, this worked for me, thank you so much, this didn't work for me. So we constantly keep getting the right kind of feedback, just because of the fact that we have access to so many people. So we have access to like-minded people, and we get a lot of feedback from them. A is gold mine for any product creator. If you have access to real feedback, there's nothing like it. And on the other hand, we're also in a position where a lot of brands constantly send us products to review. to try out, to test out, which also gives us the ability to see what's available in the market. So when we get feedback from the people and we also get to see the kind of things that are available in the market, we're at the best position possible to think and find things that are missing, and to create products that would at the end of it make the end user happy. So when I'll give you an example from my own experience. 2 years back is when I launched my first product, which was my plan for the year 2019 was when I launched it the first time. And I was very excited about it. The reason why that was because a lot of people used to reach out to me and ask me, hey, what do you think is the best planner in the market right now? And I genuinely could not ever recommend a planner to them because I wasn't happy with whatever was available, which got me to thinking, oh, is this something that people need? It looks like people want this, but I can't find anything. And I had received a lot of planners and similar products from a lot of brands, but I was never really happy with the kind of quality that I had received, at least by then. So that gave me a lot of idea that, okay, there's pure demand here and the supply isn't matching that. So maybe I should create something that would match people's requirements. And then I launched that, and it was a grand success. I was sold out in under 4 hours, and the demand for that kept coming throughout the year. And which is why the next year I expanded it to a line of journals as well, and I would still be doing planners this year. So yeah, I think we're at just the best position a person can be in terms of launching new products and services.
Awesome. Yeah, I think creators should take away the fact that Joe trust and the relationship that you build with your viewers, you can deliver something that they need, then you'll probably be the first person they go to. Animesh, let's hear from you when it comes to channel memberships and super chat. What do you feel a creator should establish as a baseline, or should aim for when they're establishing it? Should it just be that it's some extra money, or how should a creator establish a goal when they're trying to get into alternate monetization?
See, I believe that to be honest, for a YouTuber, super chats and membership, especially if someone is into live streaming, they become a very integral part of the monetization revenue that they are generating from YouTube. So I believe it should be highly prioritized throughout a content creator or a live streamer's journey on YouTube. And like membership, like you asked about how membership should be approached, I believe Rachna mentioned it really well, that you should only promise, like when you're mentioning the perks, which form the basis of a membership, you should be very careful in what you're actually offering, and you should ensure that you are able to, actually deliver what you are offering. This is more important in case of big creators, because they are already engrossed in a lot of things, creating content, live streams and other stuff as well. So for them specifically, they need to ensure that their perks are very much something that is deliverable, because they end up forming huge communities. They are big YouTubers with 2000 plus members. So you need to be very careful when you're choosing the perks, because every member needs to get what they're paying for. And as far as super chats are concerned, they definitely become a very integral part of upgrades that are required when you are doing product for your production, for your content. Because I believe with evolving technology and more digital assets coming with every passing month, so I definitely believe upgrades definitely help to give a new look and bring fresh content for your channel. And all this is possible just because of alternate monetization, or within YouTube monetization opportunities like super chats and memberships.
Awesome. And we didn't hear this from you before, but what is the one thing you feel that alternate monetization has enabled you to do that you maybe wouldn't have done if you hadn't diversified?
I believe that for me, it's been more about my tech upgrades that I have made. Trying to get in, because I believe that when we are live streaming, we are doing a live production. There's a lot of aspects that you can bring. You can do a lot of different things, especially with advanced technology, like I mentioned. And stuff are really expensive. So to be able to get the best tech, the best device, you need to have that money coming in. I mean, like some things go way expensive, above $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. So to get in that tech upgrades, you definitely need monetization. I believe for me personally, it has definitely helped me upgrade the kind of content and the quality of content, to be honest, that I'm being able to give.
Awesome. And I think the lesson from this is that it's a way to give back to the people. When you upgrade your
Right.
content and you're able to create all this content, unko ek better experience milta hai. And so it kind of creates this harmonic loop. They help you out, and then you deliver better content for them to watch. So in this case, Prem, in case any creator is hesitating with diversifying, they feel that what will my audience think, or or are they a little hesitant on asking for money? How did you get over probably that initial hesitation when thinking about these alternate monetization products?
So in our channel, monetization, so membership have been enabled 2 years back, but we just enabled the membership just 6 months, 8 months back, because we had a great, hesitation. Whether go for it or not, what our audience will think of it if we ask for some money to them. Even my team members were a little bit resistant about it. And during our last year Educon, there was a nice meeting, nice session conducted in the Educon 2019, where they were clearly explained what are all the benefits of membership, and how we need to approach the membership, and how should we tell to the audience that we are enabling the membership, and what are the perks that can be offered to the subscribers. So after hearing that from the experts, we got the confidence, and we just started the membership. But we need to be really sure that we need to add some value to the members when we get some money out of their pocket. So we gave them exclusive content. We give a exclusive high quality content every week, and we go for live for the audience. So for the new creators who wants to get into the membership, my recommendation would be don't hesitate it, because through your YouTube channel, you would be giving the content. You're basically educating or entertaining your audience. So if you tell them your difficulties and what are all the things which goes beyond, which goes when you produce the content, and how many team members you have in your team, and what are all the problems you are going through when you create the content, and why you need the support from the audience. If you explain all these things to your audience, they'll understand. So you need to clearly explain why you are enabling the membership, and what are all the perks that you're offering. Then the audience will be understanding it. So we initially we had the hesitation, but when we launched it, the negativity was very, very minimum. So you don't have to worry about all these negativities.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And that kind of brings me to my question for you, Rachna. Since you saw great success with memberships, what were some of the challenges that came along the way? It could be in terms of perks not scaling out, in terms of आपके audience को ये चीज पसंद नहीं आया, they wanted something different. What are some of the challenges a creator can expect when they're creating memberships, and maybe some of the workarounds that you personally found for yourself?
So I think the biggest challenge, like he pointed out right now, is that how do I ask for money from people who are loving to watch the content absolutely free of cost? So me and my team, we sat down for this and we discussed that how can we, go about this problem solving of asking for money from people. So the first thing I told in my video about memberships was that the regular content which I put on my channel, like I put a video every Wednesday, every Saturday. So this content is going to continue. Not even 1 week will pass by where this content will be substituted by the membership content. So whatever free content you want to get, that is there for sure. But if you want to upgrade your skills in research in stock market, if you want to know a little bit more beyond the boundaries, then it makes sense to go ahead with memberships. So what we did was we had 3 levels of memberships. We still do have 3 levels of memberships. One is like a student level of membership, wherein we give them normal theoretical content, which is posted every week. Then one is an investor, and the other one is a pro investor content. And in the pro investor, we promise them that, so generally YouTube videos are like what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes maximum for me. But in a pro investor, we have given such videos wherein it will be a 360-degree analysis of an entire company, and which runs to almost 45 minutes for a single video. So that is where we talk about exclusivity of content, going much more deep down into the company analysis, and then making them more efficient and enabling them to do their own research is what we focused on. So I think the main catch was that how do I convince people to pay? We resolved it by saying that if you want to learn to do your own research, then you opt for memberships. If you just want to be a person who just digests whatever is coming from me, and don't want to use your own brains, then you can go ahead with the normal videos wherein you don't think and research on your own. So we try to create a
Awesome.
bifurcation for that. Yeah.
Really great. I've just been told that there are a lot of audience questions for this session. I think everyone's been super inspired by the message you all are sending. So I'm just going to quickly summarize some of the things I learned. I think ek hai ki, don't firstly do it early and do it well so that it establishes a precedent. Don't hesitate initially. Experiment a little bit. Remember that आपके audience आपको trust करते हैं, and that's why you make a good value proposition. Which is why it's really good to do this. And then finally, it will enable you to do what you want to. It will give you that freedom and that opportunity that you're yearning for. So thank you for that, all of y'all. I'm going to take the first question. This is from Vipin Arya, and it's open to any of y'all. His question is, if my channel is doing well with one particular topic, but I want to change and I want to experiment, how do I do it? I have about 1.5 lakh subscribers and my audience maybe doesn't seem to enjoy it when I experiment. So how would you approach maybe a bit of a content pivot or, doing something new on your channel?
So if I want to
yeah,
just
go.
answer this in short, maybe what can be done is just try to upload one video per month which is outside your genre. So for example, I do sing as well. So I have some content on singing on my channel. But if I keep on posting it on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis, some viewers might get irritated. So what you can try and experiment is just one video per month, and you can take a small poll as to did you like this small change. If you are liking it, we can make one video per month or something like that, and then based on that he or she can continue trying out, experimenting out on a newer genre.
Awesome. The next one is for Animesh. How do you stay motivated when a lot of people aren't watching your stream? This is from Siddharth, who says.
Yeah, I believe that it's for a content creator. The first thing is first priority should be creating content and not chasing numbers. Even at from 100K to even if you reach millions, if you are chasing numbers from the very beginning, I believe that that's a very bad goal or a motto to continue on YouTube. Numbers can never be the thing. Numbers are something that would come naturally if your content is good. So I believe the only motivating factor is that maybe live streaming or creating content keeps me happy, and I love to do what keeps me happy. And if I'm able to even keep other 200 people happy, I think that works for me. It's all about a very subjective thing. It all depends upon to creator why are they on YouTube and what exactly fulfills their goal or motto of being on YouTube.
Awesome. So we have Chilby, who asks how to start super chat and memberships on your channel. Prem, I know you briefly touched on this, but do you want to give the 1-2 steps you did? I know Rachna also spoke about the research she did, but Prem, do you want to give the 1-2 steps you took before launching your memberships offering?
Sure. I had a detailed discussion with my team before I start the membership and asked what are all the perks that can be offered to our audience. So most of my team members were suggested we need to give a fresh content to the audience. Then only they'll come and subscribe for the membership. So that is the only one thing what we did. And the other thing is we had two plans in our membership. One is silver and other one is gold. For the gold members, we offer the behind the scene videos. So when you make YouTube videos, our audience would love to see what are all the things that are going in behind the screen. So I would suggest creators to give behind the screen videos as well, because your audience would love to see that. And other thing is live sessions, because most of the time your audience watches your recorded video and they want to see how you will be in the in the live. When you go for a live, what kind of person you are. Every of your audience, every audience would love to see that. So I would recommend these three things. You can go for live and exclusive content and another behind the screen videos.
Awesome. Thank you for that. The next one is from Saloni. It comes from Sonika Agarwal. How important is it to make a website for myself or my channel other than my YouTube page?
Right. I think it's I wouldn't say it should be the first step that you take. It's not absolutely necessary for a complete beginner to divert their energy into making a website, because it can be a slightly time-taking process. But as soon as you can get to it, try to get to it, because apart from the kind of visibility and exposure that YouTube gives you, Google is also a really powerful platform. And your website, if you constantly update blogs and if you constantly write there, it could really help you in establishing a personal brand for yourself. Over time, if you're looking to venture on to launching your own products and services, the website also acts as an authority builder. When people find your YouTube videos, they connect with you, and the website also gives them a sense of trustworthiness with you, and they're able to connect with you easily if you have a website. Very rarely do people go and buy products and services from people who don't have websites. So that's just an authority. It gives you a sense of personal branding. Websites are also very, very important, especially when you're approached for speaker opportunities. If you want to be approached by media to get featured in their articles, the first place where they go and they find you is your website. So having a presence apart from YouTube on Google is always a good idea. As soon as you can get to it, I would highly recommend that you do that. Another important factor that website also contributes to is the fact that you can collect email IDs of people. Like you can always have access to your audience. You can offer a freebie on your website. Any free resource, could be a checklist, could be a downloadable something, and you collect email IDs of people so that you can start your own newsletter. You can start getting in touch with them, not just on a video platform but also otherwise on different platforms. So that's just a way for you to diversify the kind of relationship that you would want to have with them. So yeah, in my opinion, it's important. But if you're a complete beginner and if you've just started out on YouTube, I think your initial few months of attention should go on YouTube. But over time, as soon as you can get to it, a website's always good to have.
Awesome. Thanks, Saloni. And thank you, Sonika, for that question. There's your tailored advice directly from Saloni on this question. The next one I have again is for Rachna. It's from Tech Sant, who says he's an engineer and he makes videos on the stock market, but he doesn't have too much knowledge in the field. How should he prepare for it?
I think that getting more and more knowledge about stock market is by giving yourself more and more exposure to newspapers, business newspapers, to my YouTube videos, and also to different business channels, right? See, otherwise what happens is that I always give this as an example that you can't learn swimming by reading a book on how to swim. You have to dive into the pool, only then you learn until he or she herself actually starts investing into the market. Even that 1 rupee gained or 1 rupee lost, for that you're going to do a lot of analysis. And that's how you slowly and steadily start to learn more and more about stock market. See, I personally feel that stock market is not like, it's not very difficult to learn. A person who is an engineer has a lot of common sense with him. So it becomes easy if he or she tries a little bit more effort into going through more and more content available on, as I mentioned, YouTube or on televisions or on newspapers. Of course, there are lots of books as well, which he can grab and have a read. Dhandho Investor is a good book. Rich Dad Poor Dad, I'm sure everyone knows that's a good book as well. So yeah, books can also be a good resource to learn more about stock market.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you, Tech Sant, for your question. We have one from Commercials World. This is for Prem. They have recently started an educational channel. How would you suggest they go forward from here? What is the kind of content they should focus on?
So you need to experiment with a lot of content. So when I started my own channel, I started my channel with a blackboard where I explained the concepts in the blackboard. And later I found that the engagement was really less. So then I started adding few animations to it. People loved it, and then I got a. I had my one of my team. I added one more team member to the team, and he gave some creative ideas, and then we started adding few dramas to the educational content. So it worked out really well. So you need to consistently experiment with your content. Then only you will understand the pulse of the customers or pulse of your audience. So you need to experiment. There is no success formula. You need to explore and find one.
Awesome. Thank you for that. This is a really, really good question by Nayana Premnath. And I think, Saloni, you might be able to give a good answer for this one. How can one bring in additional revenue if selling products is against what you preach on your channel? So her channel is about sustainability. Their channel is about
I know the
sustainability.
channel. Yeah.
Yeah, so she would love to hear from you then.
Right. No, I completely understand. So on my channel as well, I talk about minimalism. It's one of the recurring themes that I have on my channel. So for me, when I was launching my own planners, it was something that I was very aware of. The fact that I regularly tell people to not spend money on things unless they absolutely need it. So I was also personally aware of this fact. Now the important thing for you to realize is the kind of product that you launch. If your product is feeding into the consumerism game and is feeding into that, then you may come across as a hypocrite, and it might backfire with your audience. But if your product genuinely solves a problem and is something that a lot of people definitely do need in their lives to make their lives better, then that's something that all ideologies preach, that you should have things that make your life easy, that make you happy, and that truly genuinely fulfill a need that you have. So for me, because planners are something that I think is it's one notebook that lasts you for an entire year. It's something that really helps you organize your life and make it structured. So when I was launching it, I didn't have an ounce of guilt in me that I was launching a product. I was asking people to spend money on something that wasn't needed. I was convinced myself that it is definitely a good product to launch, and people genuinely will find need for it. Now, given the fact that Naina, you speak about sustainability and you speak about in your space, I would love for you to think in the direction of launching. So the best kind of sustainability is buying products, but the next best alternative to that is buying products that can help you recycle a lot of that can help you recycle things or get into sustainability habits. I know that you speak a lot about composting. I know that you speak a lot about using reusable items in your lifestyle. Now, these are some lines that you can consider launching, which would be completely in line with the kind of method ideology that you speak about on your channel. Another aspect to this would definitely be not looking at products as products, but looking at products as services. You can think of launching consulting services. For example, if somebody wants to move to a more sustainable lifestyle, they could hire you as a sustainability coach, and you can help them turn their life around. That could be a product which is kind of like a service that you can offer to people. So a lot can come from the space that you're in, given the fact that as long as it stays it feels happy in your head that I'm not doing anything wrong. You would be the best judge of that. You would know when you're talking about something and you feel guilty inside, that you're not heading in the right direction. But if you don't, in most cases, especially if you launch something that's around your niche, I think you should be good to go.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And thank you, Rachna, Animesh, Prem, and Saloni for joining this and sharing your information. I'm sure the creators took a lot to take away. Maybe all of them couldn't get their questions in. So look at your live chat next time when they start popping these questions in after watching you here. But thank you so much for sharing your feedback and your advice. And I hope people are able to diversify their revenue just like you have. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to hand it back over to Sarthak. That was it from me for this session. Thank you for having us.